This video is sponsored by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, build your online presence with Squarespace. Hey everyone, I'm Ace of Clay and welcome to another sculpting video. If you're new here, I'm a sculptor and every week I make a new sculpture. Today I'm sculpting Snow Miser, but creepier. Of course, we gotta put that creepy twist on this beloved classic. Now, Snow Miser first appeared in the Rankin Bass classic from the 1970s called The Year Without a Santa Claus. Snow Miser is this funny little character from the movie who controls the cold and icy weather. His brother is Heat Miser. I might make him next week if you want me to, so let me know in the comments. But it's just a fun, classic, lighthearted character that I wanted to turn into something way creepier. And of course, before we get started, don't forget to grab your Winston plush. He is available right now at aceofclay.com. He is my original character. He's super high quality and detailed. He's got fuzzy hair, real buttons, everything has been embroidered, and his hang tag features his entire backstory and lore, and I'm also signing them if you want me to. So again, head on over to aceofclay.com and you can grab him before he's gone. Oh, and one more thing before we get started. I am hosting an in-person sculpting workshop where I'm going to teach you how to sculpt a Santa ornament. All the details for this can be found on my website, aceofclay.com. Just click Sculpting Workshops in the navigation at the top. Now let's get started. Alright, it has been a minute, but I am ready to go. Let's start with our wooden plaque here with the 2 holes drilled in it for the wire, and let's start shaping out this guy's legs and shoulders. Stick that into the holes, add the arms, and then we're going to start bulking everything out with some super sculpty ultralight. And if you're having trouble getting your ultralight to stick to your wire, just brush on some Bacon Bond. Now I'm going to poke in a wire for the neck and then fill that hole with some Bacon Bond so it's nice and secure. And then we'll get this guy shaped out and refined a little bit more, and then he's ready for his first bake. And once he's baked and cooled down, it's time to start covering everything in clay. For this project, I'm using Super Sculpey Original. Just want to get that torso completely covered so we can start working on the limbs, starting with the legs. And once the legs are shaped out, to make him look like he's wearing pants, we're going to add some tiny snakes of clay to create folds and wrinkles at each of the bends. I'm also going to press some of those in with my tool, and then we'll start working on his pointy little elf shoes, for lack of a better term. And we're going to finish off the shoes with this spiky edged rim. And we're going to repeat the same process that we used for the legs to create his arms, but his arms are going to be a little bit skinnier than his legs. Now before I add his sleeves, I want to pop on his hands, and he's also wearing gloves, so I need to make it look like he's wearing gloves. We're not going to blend the edge of that hand in with the rest of his arm, and we're just going to stick on each finger individually. And I'm making the hands out of cosplay because cosplay stays flexible after it's baked, and I don't have to worry about any of his tiny little fingers breaking. Now, using a palette knife so it doesn't cut my silicone mat, I want to cut out the sleeves and then attach them and blend that cosplay into the Super Sculpey. Works like a charm every time. Now we're going to take a quick break from the body and make a little icicle pointy weapon thing for him. I'm just going to add some cosplay over a piece of wire, and then I'm going to carve it out to look like ice with my palette knife again. And we're going to finish off the bottom of his shirt with some more cos clay. And then of course we're going to blend that in as well. And before I make his scarf, I need to make something to put it around, so we're going to pop on his neck and then attach the scarf. I just sort of pre-shaped this piece of cos clay first, and we're just adding it around the neck and then the two pieces that will be hanging off the bottom. This is a really big scarf. And I just want to fidget with the scarf a little bit to get it into the right position before we bake him again. All right, now let's start his head. All right, we're gonna take a quick break from our video to talk about our sponsor, Squarespace. Whether you're a big business, a small business, a freelance designer, or sculptor like me, Squarespace has everything you need to showcase your brand, sell your products, and more. I've been using Squarespace for over 4 years now, even before they started sponsoring me, and I could not be happier with my experience. Their products are so streamlined and so easy to use that managing my website, aceofclay.com, is truly a breeze. Some of my favorite features include the portfolios and galleries. In my line of work, I have to show my art to the world, and Squarespace's beautiful portfolios allow me to do just that. I opened my online store where I sell stickers, posters, plushes, and more, and Squarespace makes everything so easy. I can track my inventory, print shipping labels, I get notifications when something sells, and everything I need is right there in the platform. You can even sell digital downloads. They really have everything you need to start selling online. And at this day and age, if you're an online business, you've got to have a social media presence, and Squarespace allows you to integrate all of your social media platforms into any page of your website. So if everything I said sounds good, head on over to squarespace.com, start a free trial, and when you're ready to go live, go to squarespace.com/aceofclay to save 10% on your purchase of a website or domain using my code ACEOFCLAY. Thanks again, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. Now back to our sculpture. Now for his head, I want to be heavily inspired, of course, by the original, just like I was with his body. So I wanted to have a very large chin, a really long nose, deep set eyes, but we're going to make him a little bit creepier than that beloved classic character. And we're going to start by, of course, poking out the eye sockets and then shaping out the mouth with my Explorer tool. He's going to have a really big, toothy grin. I love my big, toothy grins on my creepy characters. Now once I have the shape of the mouth figured out, I'm going to go in again with my Explorer tool to start shaping out where the gums are going to be towards the edges of his smile, and then I'm going to press in each individual tooth. And this is after I pressed in the mouth area a little bit, just so it's not completely even with the rest of his face. Once his $10 million smile is done, let's go ahead and pop in an eyeball and then add some eyelids with my spoon tool. I want to give him really bulgy bug eyes. And then we're going to take a break from the eyes apparently and stick on his nose. Again, like I mentioned before, really long, pointy nose, just like the original. Now I'm going to start his forehead lines using this small snake of clay that I'm blending in. This is going to be the main one that all the other ones are sort of going to follow. And let's give him some little cheeks and really big smile lines. And I'm extending that smile line all the way around the bottom of his chin to mimic the look of the stop motion puppet from the original, give him those really big, deep marionette lines That's where they pop the mouth in and out on the puppet to make it talk and move without having to change the entire head. All right, now we're just going to refine things and get this head done. And I filled the hole in his head with a bunch of Bacon Bond, and we're going to press it on and position it without squishing everything. I want it to be sort of cocked to the side. This makes it way more interesting than if it were just straight up and down. Now I'm going to brush on some clay softener, remove fingerprints, add a little bit of texture, and then get him ready for his second to last bake. Now for the final step of sculpting, we're going to brush on some Bacon Bond to his scalp and pop on some hair. And if I didn't pre-bake him before I did this, I would be smashing his face all over the place. So pre-baking is magical. Now let's get that clay on and give him a nice geometric pixie cut. To add some more texture and dimension, I'm just popping on these little triangle pieces and blending the back of them in with the rest of his hair. Now for the last step, I'm going to create his little hat. I got this little disc here that I shaped out with a roller and my fingertips, and that's going to be the brim of the hat, and we're going to create the rest of the hat with this little blob of clay that I'm rolling in opposite directions to get it nice and flat, and then rolling that edge nice and flat as well. And then we're going to stick this on with some Bacon Bond after we texture everything. Once the hat's assembled, let's finish it off with a ribbon. Now to attach the hat, we're just going to use some Bacon Bond and stick it on pretty firmly, and then I'll go in and fix some of that texture that I'm ruining right here before I bake them. And there we go. Didn't need any additional support or anything. It was pretty well balanced. Now let's fix the texture and bake him one last time. And once he's baked and completely cooled down, it's time for paint. I'm using an assortment of Folk Art Americana and Army Painter paints for this project. I'm gonna start with this nice pale blue color for all of his skin. Now going in with a watered down darker blue, I'm going into all of the little crevices on his face, all the wrinkles, all those little details I want to bring out. Now the first step to painting his teeth is the same process as the rest of his wrinkles, except I'm going to use black in between each tooth, and then we're going to dry brush some white really quick on all of his face, and then we're going to start painting those teeth. Nice rotting yellow. And to create a bit of a gradient on his teeth, I'm just going to swipe over some very watered down black. This makes him look really cool, takes him to the next level. Now for the last step of painting his face, we're going to paint his eyes bright yellow. Alright, now let's paint his clothes. And of course he's got this light blue and white wintry color scheme going on. And with that, I really like the contrast of his teeth and his eyes. I think it just makes him look more sinister. Once I have the base color on the scarf, we're gonna go in with the dark blue stripes and just carefully paint these. We're just gonna wing it and hope they come out straight. Now we just got to paint up his hair and his hat, and then I'm going to go in later and add a couple more shadows with my dark blue wash. You'll see in a sec. Now I'm going to paint the base. I was going to go with like a dark blue color, but I thought there's a lot of dark blue in this sculpture already. Let's make him stand out more on a black base. And you know the drill, say it with me. And he is done! My creepy little snow miser sculpture is complete. Let me know how you think I did in the comments. I think it turned out really cool. I'm glad that I stuck with that sort of stop motion style that the original character has. Just a little creepier, pretty creepy eyes, and you know, that big, lovely, creepy grin that I like to put on my characters. And of course, his little top hat, his icicle weapon thing. I don't know. I think he's pretty funny and a great way to kick off the holiday season. So again, let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching and being here. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Ace of Clay, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.